Hi, my name is John from Japanese Knife Imports, and today I'm here to introduce our Gesshin Kagero line. The Gesshin Kagero line is our newest addition to our Gesshin lineup, and it's our first powdered steel knife that we've had here at Japanese Knife Imports. For our first run, we brought in 3 sizes and shapes. We have a 240mm Gyuto, a 210mm Gyuto, and a 135mm Petty. All of these are Western handled knives, so they're not the traditional Japanese style handle that you see on a lot of Yanagiba and Deba and Usuba, but more the familiar kind of handle with the triple riveted, full tang kind of thing that you see on a lot of Western knives. For a lot of people, this is a more comfortable handle, and we don't really have that many options with that kind of handle, and so we want to add to that lineup a little bit and make our lineup more friendly for everyone across the board. One of the great things about our Gesshin Kagero line is that it's great not only if you're a home cook, but a professional cook or anything in between. It's very easy to use for pretty much everyone, and that's a nice thing. It's not something that's going to require so much more skill of you to be able to use and care for effectively. The powdered steel knives are a very cool technology that's been around for the last few years, where you get a finer grain size and a more consistent grain structure, which allows the knife to be sharpened more easily, take a keener edge, and have better stability. A lot of the powdered steel knives have increased carbon in them, so they tend to be a little bit harder, which can make the knives a little bit brittle sometimes, but in the case of the Gesshin Kagero line, they're not really overly brittle at all. They do have great edge retention though. So without further ado, let me show you the knives, and we'll start with the 240mm Gyuto, and you can see the knife here. And all of these knives, they have a really cool distal taper. And what a distal taper means is how it tapers from here along the spine towards the tip, from heel to tip. And the knives start out thicker here, and they get kind of stupidly thin towards the tip. And what that allows for is for the heel to be used for rougher and coarser tasks, while the tip can be used for finer and more delicate work. So it makes it a very good all-around knife. You can see also that the profile of the knife has that flatter kind of Gyuto profile that you're used to with a lot of Japanese knives. And also the handle has a cool taper. It tapers towards the butt end of the handle a little bit to give it a nice balance. One of the nice things about our Gesshin Kagero line is that the spine and choil area here are rounded and smoothed out, so it's a lot more comfortable to hold when you hold it with your pinch grip, or this way if you're doing slicing. You don't get so much of a blister here or along your index finger here. Their balance is very nice, and they have a very good in-hand feel. So let me show you the 210mm Gyuto, which is here. And again, that same distal taper and rounding and smoothing out. What's really nice about them is that they have a good geometry behind the edge. So if you look at them this way, you can see that even though it's thick here at the heel, it gets pretty thin towards the edge, and you can feel for it that there's not so much metal right there behind the edge, and that means that it goes through food a little bit more easily than some thicker knives. This isn't what I'd call a laser. It's not the thinnest knife out there. It's definitely a middle of the road kind of knife as far as thickness, but it does have great performance, and it does move through food easily. This is the 135mm Petty, and I generally like 150mm Petties, but with Japanese style handles, and they're measured a little bit differently, and it turns out that with the Western handle, this 135mm size is about the same as the 150mm Wa Petty. And why I like this size is that I can do in-hand work with it. I can peel things in hand, and I can also do trimming of meats with it, and it's got enough length for that. And it can be used for stuff in hand, or it can be used for stuff on the board, cutting up garlic, sectioning fruit, and all of those kinds of tasks. The Petty also has that same kind of distal taper and rounding and smoothing of the spine and choil. Another really nice thing about the Gesshin Kagero line is that they all come with these very cool padded knife pouches. And so, instead of having a box, now you have something that you can protect your knife in. You can carry it to work in these pouches as well. And you can fit maybe 1 or maybe 2 more knives in there, or maybe a couple of tools. So you can keep your whole kind of necessary knife kit with you. And so we thought that this would be a great addition. And there's a couple of different sizes. So the Petty will come with a little bit smaller size, and the Gyutos will come with a little bit larger size. And that's in place of a knife box. And I hope that you guys enjoy that and appreciate it. As always, if you have any questions, or if there's anything else you want to know about these knives, you can find us at JapaneseKnifeImports.com. Again, my name is John. Thanks so much for watching.